Hi everyone, it's Sandra. I'm always so bad at giving the wave. It's always so like stiff. I need to give a more fluid wave. I thought this morning I would kind of walk you through my skincare and makeup routine for during the week. I have been sticking to the same group of products for the last few weeks. I actually didn't even do a February favorites video because I'm going to show you some of the products that I've been using in this video. I thought it would be better if you actually see them in action. I don't do 100% the same thing every morning. It's kind of a choose your own adventure depending on my mood. I'm really not a morning person, but I did change up my routine from last year a little bit. I wake up a whole hour earlier than I used to. I used to wake up at 7:30 every morning, but now I wake up at 6:30 every morning. I got one of those wake up light alarm clocks, which kind of helps wake me up in the morning because at 6:30 it's still dark outside. So waking up because of that light tends to be better for me. When my eyes are closed and that light starts going off, it feels like it's daylight outside. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of a way to trick your mind that it's daylight when it's not. And giving myself that extra hour in the morning has just really helped me get my mindset right. If I wake up and I'm in a rush and I have to go out the door straight to work, I feel like I'm just really stressed and irritated for the most part of the day. Sometimes I do a little bit of yoga. I really love yoga with Adrienne. That is one of my favorite fitness YouTube channels in general. She has some great short morning yoga routines that I like to do. Then it's time for my skincare. I've been loving the Oskia Renaissance Cleansing Gel. I have raved about it before. It's definitely worth the hype. I use about 1.5 pumps of it, and I really like to take the time and massage my face for about a minute. It's a gorgeous lightweight oil, and I find that giving myself that little massage in the morning really helps get the blood flow going, and it just makes me feel really good. So I rinse off that oil, and then I have a couple of serums to choose from. I'm going to talk about all my skincare, my updated skincare routine video soon, probably at the end of the month. But this morning my skin felt a little bit dehydrated, so I'm using the Clarins Hydra Essential Biphase Serum. The serum is kind of like an oil and a water combination, so you have to shake it up before you apply it. It's a very fluid texture. Then I press it into the skin. It's like an instant drink of water for the skin. If you have dehydrated skin, definitely give this a try. It's such a lovely, lovely texture, and it really does a great job at hydrating the skin. For my eye cream, I'm using this V Beauté Eye Lube. I think it's discontinued. I don't think you can find this brand anywhere. You might find like a stray bottle of it on QVC or something, but I really like this. It's super lightweight. I did a blog post recently on my favorite eye creams, so make sure you check that out if you are interested. Then it's time to get the caffeine flowing. Now let's get on to makeup. First things first, always prime the lips. My lips are still been quite dry. I do my little concoction at night with the First Aid Beauty Intensive Lip Balm and like a layer of something else on top, and that seems to be really good. But I really like this Agave lip balm from by Beauty in the morning as a primer. For my base, that tends to change depending on how my skin is feeling. If I am feeling super greasy, I will opt for something that's a little bit more mattifying and also a separate SPF if it's really bright outside. But today my skin is feeling a little bit dehydrated. I kind of just want a fresh glow. So I'm going to start by using this Marcelle City Tinted Cream. I've talked about this in my foundation collection video. It's a very sheer tinted moisturizer, and it's very hydrating. It has a great color match for me. It's in the shade light to medium, and I kind of use it as a base. I kind of use it as like an SPF primer hydrator sometimes, and I love using it with the Artis brush. So I'm just applying it right onto the brush and then working it onto the skin. It's sheer, I mean it doesn't cover that much, but it does even out some of my redness. I find it really hydrating, and it has SPF 25. It doesn't smell like SPF either, which is nice. I mean, if you had decent skin, you can probably get away with just using this and maybe a little bit of concealer. Sometimes on the weekends, that's what I do, but I do want a little bit more coverage, so I'm going to be using the Sephora Airbrush Foundation. I use this in the shade Fawn. I feel like I'm some sort of graffiti artist every time I use this. I don't know, I don't really have a method. Sometimes I spray it on the brush. I'm using the same brush. Sometimes I spray it on my face. And this just adds a little bit more coverage. And this has really good lasting power for me, actually. So the base is almost done. I'm going to go in with my NARS Complete Concealer. And I'm using a Zoeva concealer brush. This is the 142 brush. I use it under the eyes. I use it on blemishes. This has worked so well for me. And I use this in the shade 2.75 Cannelle. I tried to buy custard in this at first, but the custard in the matte runs a little bit darker than the custard in the radiant, from what I experienced. So I settled for this one and I really like it. So I'm just applying it under the eyes, and then I'm also applying it on a couple of my blemishes that haven't been totally covered up by the foundation. If I want to take my time to really give my skin that super perfected look, I will opt for the Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage Concealer for blemishes, but for every day, the NARS definitely does the trick. So now it's time to set all that good stuff. I have my Laura Mercier brightening powder. I'm using the Becca multitasking powder. And I don't use this all over. I kind of just dab it onto the areas where I use concealer just to kind of lock it in place. For bronzer, I'm actually using the same powder, but in the shade Tan. This gives a nice subtle definition. For my cheeks, I've still been using the same product that you saw in my January favorites video. This is Benefit Havana. And I just feel like once I hit pan on it, I am just so much more motivated to finish it up, and I'm gonna see if I can try finishing up this blush this year. I don't think I can do it. I'm going to try. Use up what I have, and I've just been using this every single day. I love the color. It's just a nice hybrid of pinks and soft peaches. It has a beautiful, beautiful satin finish on the skin. So in order to kind of force myself to use it up even more, I kind of got rid of most of my blushes. I just put them in a separate place, and I just have a little station on my vanity where I keep my everyday makeup products. I kind of took that tip from Anna, from the Anna Edit. I will link to her channel below. I love her. I'm sure you guys know her as well. She has done some wonderful series on her channel about how to declutter and how to streamline your makeup collection. So I've kind of been taking notes from that, and I just stored the bulk of my makeup collection away, and then on my vanity where I get ready every morning, I just have a little acrylic container that just has the basics, the things that, all the things that I will need to put together a look, and just a couple of different options. Before, I used to get ready and sit next to all my blushes. I would sit next to all my eyeshadows, and then I was just so overwhelmed with choice every morning. For the eyes, I've been reaching for this color a lot. This is the Dior Mono Fusion eyeshadow in the color Infinity. Now, I don't love the formula of this, but the color is beautiful. Unfortunately, this color was a limited edition from last fall, but Tom Ford just came out with a cream eyeshadow called Young Adonis from their summer collection, and the color is super similar to this. And if you want something like this in your makeup collection, I highly, highly, highly suggest the Tom Ford Young Adonis eyeshadow. The Tom Ford cream eyeshadow formula is like 10 times better than this formula anyway. And I'm just going to town applying this. I need to load up my brush with a lot of product in order to get it to show up. For my crease, I'm just using a matte brown eyeshadow from MAC. I'm going to use Wedge. Now, for just a hint of brightness on my eyelid, I'm using this gorgeous, like slightly pink ivory shade from Clarins. This is shade number 09 Silver Rose. Kind of like a spotlight. Just to capture a little bit more light. I've been using this purple eyeliner. This is called Mist Me. It's one of the Marc Jacobs matte highliners. And this eyeliner formula is amazing. I have really oily eyelids, and out of all the eyeliners that I've tried over the years, I just keep going back to the Marc Jacobs highliner formula. So I'm going to use this in my waterline. I love it because it's color in a really subtle way, and I'm going to be using the cult favorite Glossier Boy Brow. I use this in the shade Blonde, and I like it, but I have to say I was a little bit disappointed because I think this product was so hyped up. I thought it would just be the most amazing thing to ever touch my eyebrows with, but I don't think it's better than my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper. It's good, don't get me wrong, it is a very good eyebrow product, but for me personally, it does not beat the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper. I find the L'Oreal Brow product more tinted. That product actually lightens my eyebrows. I have a lot of highlights in my hair and my eyebrows are naturally really dark. So I like the L'Oreal, the Blonde Brow Stylist Plumper. I like it to lighten my eyebrows. Just going to finish off my eyelashes. I'm going back to the old classic L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. Then what I like to do at the very end is I like to just use my powder brush to kind of blend everything in again, just to get a more seamless finish. And then I'm using my Clarins Makeup Setting Spray. For lips, my go-to combination has been Milani Nude Lip Liner and the Too Faced Papadome Peach Gloss. This lip gloss is like the unsung hero of the peach collection. Not a big fan of the whole peach thing, but this color is so good. So I'm just going to line my lips. Now this is the finished look. I have about half a bottle of dry shampoo in my hair. I'm just going to apply some fragrance, and this has been my go-to perfume for the last almost 3 weeks. I'm using the new Coach perfume. I don't know if it has a name. It's really, really feminine, but it's very soft, so it's definitely work appropriate. And the top notes of this are raspberry and rose, which is so beautiful. And if you are a Canadian resident, I actually partnered up with them to give away 2 of these along with some other Coach goodies on my Instagram. So I will have a link to my Instagram below where you can enter and win one of these, which would be super, super cool. Hopefully going to be doing an international one soon. Make sure you follow me on Instagram because it's all going to go down on there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you soon with a new video. Bye.